Yeah, you're not supposed to. I mean, unless you press the red button. Oh wait, the soundboard's live. Fuck.
Welcome back, everybody. You probably heard a little bit, but we're back. Minor difficulties. We're gonna get this all figured out. Welcome back to my show, Invite Only. Here, your nerdy news, gossip. You know what
Gossip
we do here.
Gospel Podcast.
Ha! He knows it. We go live every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. on Mixer. Mixer.com/playeverything. But if you missed the episode live today, right now, you can find it tomorrow on YouTube.com/playeverything at 10 a.m. My name is Shawn Flowers, aka That Kid Flowers. And next to me, I got the ugliest, the dirtiest, the ugliest cheeks, just straight ass.
Gotta take my comebacks. I see with the nasty. It's okay. It's okay. You gotta imitate those that you aspire to be. You know what I mean? What's going on, everybody? I'm Mike Doherty. I'm the host of Completely Consensual. Go check out that show. It's much more interesting.
Just came out yesterday. Or actually today. Go ahead and watch that. YouTube.com/playeverything. And in the back, I got my producer running the board right now, Tambo Vlogs.
Yo, what's cracking? No, that's for undress.
Yeah, what is he doing, right? He's got this guy's fucked up.
I miss it. I miss doing that, you know?
I miss him. I miss Compa.
Nah, he's a piece of shit, actually, you know?
Just a little bit.
Wait, did he die from corona?
Yeah.
I don't know. He died a couple times last year.
You know?
In the hospital, came out, died again. I don't know,
So we're waiting for him to just come back from the dead.
Yeah. But what's going on with your cheeks? Anything new?
I am in a deep Minecraft hole. Like, deep.
And that's surprising because I would have never expected you to be the Minecraft loser that I see you have blossomed to become.
Me neither. I made fun of kids who play Minecraft all the time. You know what I mean?
I would expect Fortnite over Minecraft.
Connor Green out there farming his wheat. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I am in. First of all, it's a perfect time because it's right in that time. Last of Us comes out next week, right?
Yeah.
But it's in that perfect time where it's I wish I found it earlier because it's a perfect game to kind of invest your time into when there's nothing else to play.
So, what are you investing time into in Minecraft? What are you making? Are you making beautiful sculptures, unique worlds? What
it's
are you?
An experience. You know, when you go to a restaurant and it's they have everything, right? It's the ambiance, it's the food, it's the customer service, it's,
okay.
it's the fine silverware. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really just makes up the whole entire experience. That is what Minecraft is to me. Minecraft is a religion. And I am for it, and I think you should hear the good word as well, and you should download it, specifically the Java edition on PC. I've been playing it on PC,
okay,
because you can buy servers, and you can have your own server, host your own server, and have people.
But what are you doing? You're going around, what do you do? What are you invested?
Again, it's the experience,
wait,
right?
Hold on. So this whole religion thing he's bringing, he literally tries to recruit you. If you call him next week, he'll be like, hey, yeah, so do you have Minecraft?
That's funny you said something, Tom, but how was Minecraft?
Honestly, it's just another game, bro.
It's what?
For me,
another game?
It's just another game, bro.
So
I'm kicking you off the server.
Damn.
Kick me off, bro. I just got I got a new control.
Don't you ever disrespect me like that, you
The ambiance, the detail he just explained, it's just another game to you?
Look, I was waiting for my Elite controller so I could get back into Modern Warfare because, I'm kind of a pro there.
So you won't mind it if I kick you off the server then? I'll just take all your money.
I actually wouldn't.
Anyway,
go ahead. My bad.
Get back to your original question. In Minecraft, really what you're doing is you're just in this world. You start from nothing, right? And you got to figure out, especially if you don't have someone. We have somebody who kind of helped us out along the way who's played it before. But you basically, it's no fucking hand holding. It's you're in the world. You got to figure out, how do I survive? When you first start, it sucks because it's you have nothing, right? So, and then you got to figure out, okay, I'm going to dig this dirt and I could build this dirt. Okay, that seems pretty basic. And then you go, okay, I get wood, and then you can build things with the wood, and you get a crafting table, and then you can build other things on top of that, and you find rare material and iron ore, and you can make tools that last longer, and you're digging, and you're basically, it's life, man. You start from the bottom and you get to the top to where you have 4 state-of-the-art mines that look cool as shit because you put in the time to chiseling it out and building houses and all these storage chests with fucking gold in them and silver in them, and it's I love it.
So it sounds like you're making are you making the world? Are you making things in the world? Or are you just
you're
like
making
mines
in the world,
and crafting tables?
And then like it's one of those things where like on survival mode, right? You need to eat and you have health, and if you get hit by like one of the bad guys in the world, right?
Is it bad guy?
Yeah, they're like creepers, and they're like these things that are kind of round.
Okay.
And you get hit, you got to eat, and then you got to be at full hunger. Or full. What do you call when you're not the opposite
full.
of hunger? Full.
Yeah, you were right. You said full a couple times,
right?
Yeah.
Then you can start regenerating health, right? But then you're like, fuck, I don't have food. So then you just start eating raw meat, and you realize, oh fuck, like you're not supposed to do that. It makes you sick. Oh. And then you get into the idea of, okay, like with us, right? We made a compound, right? We each have our own mines and stuff, but we have one home like house.
Yeah.
And outside that we have a farm. Like a garden. Then we have all these pens with different animals, chickens, pigs, sheep, cows. Like,
so when do you guys get to shooting each other and killing each other?
There's not that. That's the thing. It is immersive. It is one of those games where, again, it seems so dumb to be talking about Minecraft in 2020.
Is it like Sims?
But it is one of those things where it really just holds up. Like, no wonder Microsoft bought Mojang, because it's one of those games where it's like, I could jump into it years and years down the line, and it's still going, and they're still changing things, and they're still adding things. It's such a deep game in terms of, like, there's still support for it. It doesn't go away.
Would you try the PvE mode?
Maybe. I'm not really interested. The thing I like about this is I have my A50s, right? So I feed in the game audio, I feed in the Discord audio, and whoever's on just jumps on both. And then I have a podcast going, right? And I will sit there and I will just zone out. There was literally yesterday, not yesterday, the day before yesterday. I stayed up till 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And I spent 6 hours just mining this one, what's it called?
Flint.
Like, not flint, but obsidian.
Okay.
And I spent 6 hours because that's just a bitch.
6 real life hours.
Yeah, 6 real life hours just breaking that shit, mining that shit, and then I spent another 6 hours just like
real life hours like that. You could like invest in something else.
Yeah,
and, like,
absolutely.
Maybe profit like money or into.
So with 6 hours done, you break this flint or obsidian metal, and then what you build?
I bring it back to my base, and I store it in my little storage chest.
You store it.
And then today we built a little portal where we can go into another dimension.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
But yeah, and there was one of those things where people were like, "Fuck, you have obsidian already?" Blah blah blah. And it's like I stumble across it and I mine the fuck out of it, and I have a shit ton of it. And then it's like I spent another 6 hours on my underground tunnel where I made a farm under there, and I made a garden under there, and then like I just spent time carving it out. It's seriously like I'm talking about it like I'm dating it, but like I fucking love it. Like I'm in love, and it's one of those things where it's like you'll like strip mine where it's like you have one tunnel and you're just trying to find like materials, right? And then all of a sudden you hit a cave, and then the cave has lava and has water, and it's like huge, right?
Yeah.
All right,
lava cave, huge water. No, I like it.
No, it's good.
I like it. No, you're doing good.
It's good.
No,
it's your show.
bro.
I said I'm going too long.
I like to hear you talk about exciting games.
It didn't seem like it.
I hope this is gonna be like,
didn't seem like it. You know what I mean?
I liked it. It sounds like.
What have you been doing?
You have a server. How many people are in your server?
This is 5 minutes Minecraft with Mikey.
We're talking about games. This is my gaming show. How big is your server?
What are you doing?
We're talking about games. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm done. I don't have anything else to say on my
come on, don't be embarrassed about the Minecraft.
No, I'm not embarrassed.
All right, let's talk about it.
You seem done with this. So
I literally was just looking at the camera, looking at my people, looking at you.
Just to cap off what I'm saying is, you start this strip mine, right, to try to find material, and then all of a sudden you like run straight into a tunnel, and the tunnel is huge, and it, like you see like gold in the wall, and you see you see like all this material and diamond, and you go and you mine it, and all of a sudden you build a little home inside that mine. So
can you make a little like Rolex watch? With the gold?
No. All right.
Can you make like chains?
Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
Can you make?
I'm in love with it. I know I'm late to the party.
Can you sell like diamond watches and like diamonds? Can you sell things? Are there other people you play with, or is it just like you just kind of just digging for hours and then you just run into a cave and you farm it and then you turn it into a farm with a highway in the middle? Minecraft. He said. What have I been doing? What have I been doing, honestly?
Hey,
I don't know. No one
As
else.
of, huh?
No?
Huh?
question though.
What's up?
You could probably download it on your PC, right? It's on.
No. I had to
have
send
to buy
back
your
my
own server.
PSU. I had the trusty Kevin Coelho come and diagnose my PC, tell me what was wrong. So now I'm working on it.
Shout out to Kevin, by the way. Every time he's over here, there's something wrong, and he's fixing it.
Shout out to Kevin because, these two idiots, was convincing me that I was them. Like, I really thought, like, it was just something I was doing.
You are dumb.
But then Kevin Coelho came. He was like, nah, Shawn, like, you did all this, like, correct. Like, you know exactly what you're doing. But it's just the actual, like, defective piece is what's fucking up your mojo. So I have to send that bitch back, and I got another one coming. So when that comes, then I can hop into the Minecraft world and maybe get a little piece, a little taste of the ambiance of the world you are building. I haven't been doing much though, like as far as gaming goes. I play Apex here and there with Clutch, but really haven't been doing much gaming as of late. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and like, I don't know, with everything going on, I'm trying to look at like where I come from and like taking a step back and like actually looking at like some of the things I've lived through and how it's affected me and how I should go moving forward.
How do you? I know some people probably want to hear, but how do you feel about everything that's going on right now?
I'm gonna tell you at the end of the show because I got a show to run.
Keep it at the end.
All right. I got a voice, but we're gonna hear that at the end because I got this show too. All right. So let's get into some news, Mikey.
News.
All right. So Last of Us 2 gameplay impressions came out, or not impressions, but the gameplay came out last week.
I mean, we've seen gameplay before.
No, but I'm talking about like gameplay, like how they did with Ghost of Tsushima. Like it was just like a broadcast just for the gameplay for that. Mm-hmm. So they little gameplay here. They talked about little bit about the game. I know you don't want to have it spoiled, but this is like one of the most interesting pieces I like. Like I'm all like a gameplay guy. Like I like mechanics, especially when it comes into like how you move in the world. And then it sounds like they really have a crazy like world going on in here, which I'm interested in. Go ahead.
Just for listeners, how spoilery is what we're about to see? Just because they can jump, I can't jump out, but what can?
Oh, how spoilery is it? It's not spoiler as far as story goes at all. It's not really anything story wise about. It's literally like gameplay and like little mechanic shit that they added into the game. That they're pretty much talking about in the clip I'm about to show at least. So it shouldn't spoil anything as far as like the story. Okay, all right, let's see this. Come on.
Look at Neil Druckmann, sexy son of a bitch.
Yeah, so here they're talking about, like I said, the movement in the game.
Oh, look, you can jump.
There's a jump button.
I'm excited.
I was surprised I was new.
Not really jumping. And here, Ellie can jump. The combat scenarios are much more vertical, where Ellie can use.
This shit looks fucking good. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, good thing you played the first one so you can understand.
It looks fucking good. Oh, this is it right here.
Something so simple, again, something that in real
It was
life,
really cool that they added that.
Look at this shit. Snake in the grass.
all their weapons, all the items.
Oh, some Metal Gear shit. That's crazy.
Oh, that's dope.
And
God, I can't wait to play this game next week, ladies and gentlemen.
more emergent.
He's saying you can have a crafty. You can be able to craft things while you're down there and shit too. So like,
Cobian, which are very low to the ground. How else can we use this other than just hiding in vegetation? We're like, well, there's a lot of man-made things or different structures that have collapsed that allow just enough space for you to crawl under.
I can't wait to play
Which means
this.
that now, as enemies are looking for you, you can crawl under things and hide, and it's just one more way to assess your environment and use it to Ellie's advantage. Now, because you can hide under things, we made them smarter and gave them the ability to look under things.
that's
So
that shit I
while
like
you
right
might
there.
hide somewhere and be safe for a while, eventually they're going to start looking. under stuff,
That's what I
and if you're
love
hiding
about
under a
Naughty
truck and
Dog
they
is
spot
they
you,
really
they're
think
gonna
of
yank you
like
out and then
instead
try
of
to
just
kill
being
you.
like, oh, like it's gonna be faster to just not have them like look under shit.
Yeah.
Like they take the time to actually.
Yeah, no, they're looking for that ass. And I like how like you feel like you have to outthink the AI instead of just outplay them, you know?
Because now
This is gonna be the game of the year. I just don't see anything beating this.
a scuffle.
Look at the dodging. Like, this is all new mechanics that I haven't played the first game, but it's just surprising that this is new. Like, what? And it looks so good.
Well, sometimes you just gotta run.
Well, like
God. Fuck.
Part of this world, which is
And it's not over. Like, shit. And look how smooth she just get out the jam. Fuck the bullshit. I'm out.
When you are partially hidden, or you're in grass, that means people from afar can see you.
Bless you. Don't be sneezing on my show, man. We don't do that here.
if you're gonna cough, will you please leave the room?
Completely hidden when you're
Oh,
in
so
grass.
this is what I like right here. Like,
For Trump, man. It's funny.
She runs to the grass immediately and start looking for her. I like that. You can stop it right here.
So here's my thing with like The Last of Us 1. Like, it was in terms of story, like we were talking about with Nick DiPaolo, right? I think it did a lot of unique things that we didn't see in gaming, but like mechanically it wasn't very like crazy. And like even here where it's like it's a jump button, it's not that crazy, but adding on to the thing that they already did with the first one, and then adding something as simple as a jump button and being able to crawl and being able to have enemies look under thing and be smarter. It's one of those things where Naughty Dog they take it to the next level each and every time that they do something. Where it's like, I don't think they're ever going to get a game that is less than a 9 from here on out. Like, just realistically. But in terms of like review scores, right? I'm super excited about this game, and I cannot wait to play it. And I've been on pretty blackout, like I didn't watch the state of play on it.
Yeah, I don't want to show too much, but
I mean, even just seeing that with like the dodging and stuff, it's like it's not like going back to the Nick DiPaolo episode, right? It's not the most innovative thing, but at the same time, what they're building this game to be is going to be, like I said, it's going to be game of the year. I don't see anything beating it other than maybe Cyberpunk. But it's doing it different. Like, it's the most different zombie game that you've ever seen. Yeah. And now with the second one, it's really stepping it up. So I'm super excited about it, and I can't wait to get
Going off of that, though, do you have, like, or a couple questions in here you probably see, but do you have, like, any expectations going into this game? Like, you're expecting to have, like, maybe you experience a new way they maybe play the game? Like, I showed you a couple like new like mechanic things, which obviously are new for this series in general, but like, are you expecting some like new concept story wise or gameplay wise coming into this game?
I mean, gameplay wise, we've seen it already in terms of like even just that little snippet. Like there's tons of changes that they're doing that I'm excited for, that just make the gameplay itself deeper, and like having that verticalness to the game is super exciting. Story-wise, I mean, I think today on Twitter he even said that it was going to normalize things that aren't normal.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see. That's the thing I'm most excited to see, right?
That's a big question mark. Yeah.
I mean, obviously the gameplay could be fun, but the story is what's really going to be the bread and butter of this game. And I know for a fact that no one's sleeping on this. Like, they did not think through every little thing that they put into this game. They did the first one, which was way outside their, for the most part, outside their box of what they normally do, especially during a time where zombie games were a dime a dozen. You can find a zombie game anywhere.
Yeah.
And then they actually made it a unique zombie game. It's not like every other zombie game where it's just about the shooting and the killing. It's actually about the story. Like, I'll always go back to this example in Last of Us 1, when you like strangulate somebody, right, and you take them out and you kill them, it makes you feel different than just killing somebody. Like, every time you do it, you kind of go, like, I don't like doing
like just seeing it done, like,
yeah,
so,
and the way that they did that animation, and the way they made it feel, and the controller vibrate and everything, it made you feel uncomfortable. Where it's like, it's not just about, especially the humans, right? They're the I was about to call them creepers, the clickers. You can kill them no problem, right? And like, obviously in dark places it's a little eerie, but like the real threat is the humans. And like, it makes you uncomfortable killing them, just the way that they did it. So I can already tell in that gameplay, they're gonna take that to the next level. So I'm excited about that.
I mean, you probably already answered this. I did want to ask you though, but are there any aspects of the game that you're looking forward to, like level design, sound score, story flow, the realism?
Story. I mean, that's you know me. That's like my biggest thing, and
story,
obviously the gameplay and the level design. Like I said, Naughty Dog is one of the most top tier developers in the country that it's very hard to compete with.
I agree. They're definitely like one of those companies that just out of the gate, you know, it's gonna be like something strong. Like, you don't have to like worry about like, is Naughty Dog gonna make a really good game? It's gonna be okay. Like, you know, it's gonna be like good. It's just how good.
Yeah, and I think this. I mean, at this point, I feel like Naughty Dog kind of gets the Zelda treatment, where it gets rated higher than it should, just because it's a Naughty Dog game. But I really do think this is gonna be something special. And like I said, I think it's between this and Cyberpunk for Game of the Year. Like, there's no doubt about it.
Interesting. I want to see how that plays out.
Me too. Are you going to play it even though you didn't play the first one?
You know, I might play the first one first, and then, you know,
definitely
take the second one from you if I ever get to through the first one. So if I ask you for the second one, then you know I beat the first one.
Okay, so you're never going to ask me for the second one.
Fuck you both. with this, I did see that there was going to be a Last of Us podcast series that's actually going to feature some of the developers. And I think it's Christian Spicer. Let me just read what it says right now instead of just going off the top. So the 8-part series hosted by writer and stand-up comedian Christian Spicer will explore the development of both Last of Us and its Part 2 sequel. The first episode is available now already. Released weekly on Tuesdays. Episode 1 features interviews with Naughty Dog's Neil Druckmann and Anthony Newman, who discussed the first few hours of the original game, so Last of Us 1. And future episodes will include chats with Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker, which I'm assuming are both voice actors in the game, as well as developers, composers, and notable fans of the series. Is that something you'd watch? I know you're the big podcast guys. Maybe during Minecraft you pop this in your ears.
Well, for one, those sons of bitches are trying to take our time slot, and I'm not okay with it.
That was gonna be my second
Druckmann,
question.
I will come after you.
That was gonna be my second.
I will come after you. You know what I mean? You threaten my business, the business that makes no money.
Do you feel like this has a place in the industry though? Like you feel like you can see more things like this?
It's cool. I don't like it when it's actually by like PlayStation because you're just not gonna get the real shit. You're just not.
When you say real shit, what do you mean?
Any corporate podcast, you're just so like, for instance, the reason they're doing this is because when God of War came out, Kind of Funny, to be honest, they're the ones that kind of kicked it off. Kind of Funny did a spoiler cast.
That's off.
They did it with The Last of Us 2, but not with the developer.
Yeah.
But they had Cory Barlog on to come do like a spoiler cast. And it did really, really well. 2, it was a really interesting conversation. And they were able to ask questions that you wouldn't really hear.
It's a controlled environment.
Exactly. You wouldn't really hear at like PlayStation headquarters, you know.
So they can ask those
because
questions.
Because they go, hey, this is off, like, don't talk about this, don't talk about this, don't talk about this, right? Development time, whatever it is, right? Leaving this out of the game or this topic or whatever. That's why I hate corporate podcasts. That's why when something is bought by a corporation, it's a podcast, I'm not for it. I don't listen to it. Not that I'm not for it. It can exist. So that's what really kicked it off, and then Cory Barlog went to like IGN, and then they did one. So that's the one thing why I'm not excited about it is because you're just kind of gonna get meh conversation. Like you're gonna get like the really surface level stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like what I want to hear about, I want to hear about Naughty Dog struggles with like retaining employees. You know, the Jason Schreier broke those stories.
So you want to know about the whole like
about
story before like
yeah,
people
well, not
thinking.
just that, but like that's the stuff that could come up during this stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't have Sony PR in the room being like, don't talk about that. Like don't touch that subject, or like before the interview they go, hey, you can't talk about this or that, which was interesting because I felt the same way. Zipper Interactive, the defunct studio, PlayStation studio that made SOCOM and Unit 13 on the Vita,
They had their own thing going similar?
yeah, they had this was early IGN. This was like when I got into podcasting. Like I'm talking about, there's no video. They had the Zipper Interactive podcast.
Spill that tea.
It was very interesting idea to me at the time, but I couldn't listen to it because it was just like they're not talking like humans. They're talking in a very PR way.
I understand what that feels like. That's
and
annoying.
2, they were talking. You're not going to hear anything about the game like that you
actually
haven't
want to
already
hear.
heard, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing with me on these corporate podcasts.
Okay, I mean, I could definitely see how that can be an issue because I feel the same way when like you ever see a game and its gameplay, but like there's like 25-minute gameplay, but like it's just shit gameplay, and it's just like, why don't you just grab someone out of the crowd to play the game? But like they probably did that so like the person doesn't actually like go off the rails or try to explore because they don't want you to explore or see certain
the gameplay
things.
stuff is very on rails in terms of like this is the particular things they want you to see, and a lot of times, especially on live stuff, it's like pre-recorded gameplay. It's not live. Like when they're on the E3 stage and they're playing the game, they're not actually playing the game for the most part. There was only one time that I'm sure there's more than one time, but one time that stands out to me was Last of Us 1 when Neil Druckmann came out. He played the game and then he like dropped the controller.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but like other than that, it was like every time in E3, just be something could go wrong, right? Something could not work. So I mean, there's been tons of time on nightmare stories at E3 where it's like they go up on stage, they try to demo a multiplayer game, and it just doesn't work. Or even remember the Wii Music live gameplay? But yeah,
that's funny.
That's kind of my take on cool. Go watch it if you want to watch it.
Yeah,
but you better come back to us. You know what I mean? You sons of bitches.
That's our trailer. They got a little trailer. I just want to play it. It's an audio trailer, so it's really nothing to really watch. So audio listeners, you're safe. You're good. And go ahead. I'll just let it speak for itself.
We don't have to do this. You know that, right?
And this is Joel from the game.
After all we've been through.
And Ellie.
This is the official The Last of Us podcast. I'm Christian Spicer. I'm a writer, podcaster,
never heard of this son of a
and
bitch.
huge fan of The Last of Us.
I did some research on Christian Spicer
In this
too.
show, we'll be recapping the story of part
Couldn't really
one,
find much
while
work, I'm not gonna
diving
lie to you.
deep into the making of.
Like, he sounded like he had a thing in
People like
2016,
writer
but
and creative director
behind the scenes since.
At first, they don't like each other. And by the end of it, they're going to love each other like the way a parent loves a child or a child loves their parent, and they're willing to do anything for each other.
I want Joel to watch over her.
Ellie.
You'll hear from voice actors like Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker.
I feel like the line is blurred between me and Ellie at this point.
She may be a monster, but for right now, she's a little girl, and I can't abandon a little girl.
I'm not gonna lie to you, this shit sounds
We'll be
stale.
talking to some of the developers who created the game
After I said it,
from
right?
the ground up.
Super stale.
Sense how different this
You go ahead,
game
just turn this
was
off, Tom.
from-
I
So
ain't gonna lie
Christian
to you.
Spicer is a comedian, which I was interested because I never heard the name, and I like watch Deep Cut podcast.
Yeah.
A comedian podcast. It looks like he's Dean Del Rey's friend, and he's a hilarious comedian. But that is interesting. I've never seen him. Doesn't look like he has a lot out there.
That's what I said. Like, he just sounds like he had a thing going at one point in time, and that's probably what pushed his career so far. But he kind of like, he kind of behind the scenes now
He was on
in this thing.
Devious Maids. He was a writer. You know?
I didn't know. But
That's
thanks
exciting.
for telling us. We appreciate
Did
what
you know
do.
that, Tambo? Devious Maids, world hit.
No.
Next piece of news. Sony fined $3.5 million for misleading Australian consumers. Now, this story I found interesting because you ever like buy something off like the PlayStation store or even the Xbox Live store, right? And there's always like a slight refund policy, like there's no refund, blah, 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 only if issued or required by law to give you the money back. I'll just read a little bit of the article because this is some shit. Sony Europe, which controls Sony operations in Australia, has been fined $3.5 million or Australian dollars for misleading Australian consumer over its refund policy. The company has been ordered to pay this amount in penalties for making false and misleading representations regarding Australian consumer law rights. They were refused funds for two reasons. The game was purchased digitally, and it had been 14 days since they had made the purchase. The response from Sony did not align with Australian consumer law. So the case went to court. And this is a quote coming from the ACC, which is like the Australian competition commission.
College football division in the South. Very popular.
Australians commissions competition. They kind of really regulate this shit for Australia.
Clemson, Florida State.
Quote from them says, consumer guarantee rights do not expire after ad digital product has been downloaded and certainly does not disappear after 14 days or any other arbitrary date claimed by a game or store developer. Reads Rod Sims, which is one of the workers. Sony told these consumers was false and does not reflect the consumer guarantee affordable to Australian customers. You ever bought a game and the game just didn't work? Because this is what happened. If we look deeper into the article, which I didn't have in here, but deeper in the article, it says the consumers made a claim saying the game was faulty. So I'm not too sure if that meant literally frame drops, like the game wasn't functioning, or like they opened the game and it closed. But the game just was not working. And they issued this claim, and Sony said, you can't get a refund. Then they hit them with a second claim saying, we have to give you the refund once the developer gives us the money. And yeah.
I wonder if they made them prove it in court that the game doesn't work.
How does that work, right? How does this even get settled?
Now there is only one time, and it wasn't even a digital game, that a game didn't work for me, and it was Call of Duty World War II, where I got to a certain point in the mission and it just froze. And
I've had games like
crashed
that.
Everything,
Yeah.
right? Which is weird. I've only had it happen on one thing in my entire life. Games typically work for me.
That would happen to me a lot on PlayStation 2 when I had a lot of PlayStation 2 games. That would happen to me a lot.
True. Okay. Yeah. And PlayStation 2, but a lot of the things would be scratches or things like that.
That's true. It would feel like self-harm, so you really couldn't complain too much. But
yeah, or the blue disc games on certain
hated those.
consoles, right?
Oh, that shit pissed me off.
But other than that, out of a game that where it works fine and all of a sudden it just doesn't work in it, right? It was Call of Duty World War II for me. That was the only game that I've ever had an issue.
Yeah.
And now I would be interested in the fact that if one, if they made them prove that it doesn't work, and two, is there no return policy in Australia? Like they said, it doesn't matter. No arbitrary date.
Yeah, I don't know Australian law, which is probably why they got caught in this lawsuit anyway, because I don't think Sony knew Australian law. Yeah, they definitely got banked out.
For a $60 game they could have refunded, they had to pay $3.5 million.
All because you said they couldn't get the refund back.
Tambo, we're going to sue PlayStation.
That's how I'm feeling, like shit. Like now I'm finna do this for the Xbox because
PS4 sucks.
I'm pretty sure this happens on Xbox too, but it feels like it's such. This is such a claim. Like you can't even like. How do you even go about making this claim?
Call of Duty World War II was on Xbox that I played.
I wonder if these guys are just like, let me just call. You know what? I'm fucking gonna call my government, and they're gonna handle this shit because I bought this game. Like
the government sued, or the person sued?
I believe the person
sued, right? And the government just enforced the laws.
Right.
In terms of like, that's not okay. It's a lot of money. Obviously, you're probably walking out of there with like 1.2 million, but still.
Shit, over a $60 game, you still coming up with a dub. Next piece of news: PS5 rescheduled their kind of like state of play event, which is gonna be pretty much giving us a lot of PS5 game reveal. Whether it's the console or it's just the game lineup, we don't know, but it's coming this Thursday.
Sounds like games from what it sounds like. It was the future with the PS5.
Future of games.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was just hopeful by saying that, but now you make me feel like I'm just too hopeful and hoping that they're telling me a little about the console.
I mean, we kind of know everything about the console, right? Like they already did their boring console.
We don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah, sure. They might reveal the look of it, but I don't think they're going to be talking about the hardware. They're going to be like, this is what it looks like, but here's all the games you care about.
You think they show us what it looks like at least? And then show us the game lineup?
I'm sure we'll see what it looks like.
Are you
positive?
You see a lot of new IPs coming out of this, or kind of just more?
I feel like at launch, it's safer to go with established IPs. So I feel like we're just going to see a bunch of established IPs. Are we going to get Spider-Man? You know what I mean? Like, this is so exciting. That's been enough time to where it's like they could at least get probably not at launch, but it's been enough time where they can show like a trailer.
Yeah.
And same thing with like Horizon, right?
Yeah.
Actually, that's probably even more time to be a launch title. And I know everybody's like, oh, like set your expectations, which I agree. But I think Sony saw the reaction to Xbox's stream, and they've learned their lesson in the past about hyping up stuff like the first 2 state of plays, right? Where they're like, basically hyped it up, and then people were like, what the fuck was that? And they're like,
really much.
I'm sorry.
It wasn't really much. Yeah.
So I really don't think we would be getting this if they weren't going to bring the heat. Now that's just me. That's just my personal experience and past experience with PlayStation.
Yeah.
I think we are going to get the launch lineup. I think we're going to get a few games that are going to be launch like window in terms of like not at launch, but like February.
Yeah.
You know, if it comes out this year, which I don't know.
Think they give us a release date for the PS5? Because they say holidays, which, what is that, November, October?
Xbox hasn't come out with it. I don't think Sony's going to come out with it yet. Now, it would be ballsy if they did. I don't think they're...
Big dick energy.
I think both of them are holding their deck of cards until like the very, very last minute.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, it's coming out here.
Well, Sega just dropped a new console. Know if you heard about that.
It did.
It's called the Game Gear Micro, which is pretty much like a little handheld. Kind of reminds me of like the
it's
like
a
the
Game
first
Gear
DS.
just small.
Huh?
It's a Game Gear just small.
Yeah. And they can have like a reveal trailer. We'll play this so you guys can see this because it's easy for you to see it than for me to explain. And I'm sorry, other listeners. I'll do my best for you.
God, Sega kids were dumb. You know what I mean?
Sega just brings so much joy though. Like,
no,
I'm not gonna lie. Just hearing the Japanese in this, like, I feel like I'm hyped. Like,
I think the Japanese bring a lot of.
It is Japanese. This is only in Japanese, by
Sega.
the way. Let's go.
This is a Japan-only console?
Yeah, this is only in Japan as of right now. Yeah. Super small. This is what they're saying in Japanese, I'm assuming.
Ugh.
It looks so ugly. Comes with 4 colors. Yellow, red, blue, and black.
I can just listen to the Japanese trailer, you know?
Ooh! And they had to come out with this trailer because I'm hyped. Yeah, so each different colored micro has 4 games.
Not different games, they have the same game.
No, they're all different games. They're not the same game.
What? It just said it.
No, look, watch.
Oh, got it.
The blue one has Sonic Tails.
They're trying to make this collectible.
Yeah.
They're trying to get the money.
They're trying to make a little thing, do a little thingy. I'd cop probably either the blue or the black one because it has Sonic. That's the only recognizable game I see. We can stop it right here because I don't know what the fuck comes after this. I can honestly just explain at this
Also,
point.
who cares? Sega kids were so dumb. You know what I mean?
Did you ever?
The kid with the Dreamcast. Bully him on the playground. You know what I mean?
How old is
fucking
this
poor piece of shit? No, I'm just kidding. That was me.
You had a Dreamcast?
No, but I'm a poor piece of shit.
Well, I mean, you speak what you know. You ever had one of those like? Excuse me, I had to burp. McDonald's treats. It was kind of like one of those playable toys.
Yes, I
love those. Thank you. I'm glad you agree with me.
Now
that's what this reminds me of.
Crash Bandicoot.
They had one for that.
I always am tempted when I'm on eBay to be like, I should buy these.
When I saw this when I was doing the news, it reminded me of that, and I remember the Super Monkey Ball one. I don't know if you remember that. When it's kind of like the small yellow one, probably like this big, and like it was one of those games that had like the kind of pixels where like the screen is kind of just like I don't even know if to say it's transparent, but like then like the pixel, like the actual game is like in like black. So it's kind of like you and you're doing your little like Super Monkey Ball thing. You have to hit like 2 buttons to go like left or right. You have to like I guess kind of like a what was that one game on the mobile where you have to like swipe left? It was like a castle.
McDonald's shit, man. Like,
yeah. Okay, Tom's gonna pull it up right now. Yeah, so this is the shit. Yeah, so you had 2 buttons and it was in black and you literally had left and right and it was one of those games where you had to like dodge what's coming at you. That was my shit.
Where do you see black?
Say what?
Where do you see black?
The game itself, like the shit on the game. Oh, they had different. Oh, they had Sonic ones and shit. Bro.
I love
this reminds
shit
me
like
of.
that. I'm sure those are collectible.
You were on the move.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where it was like that was before the PSP. You had the Game Boy, but then like games were so like as a kid, like you couldn't just get any game you wanted. You know, like we talked.
Yeah, you take what you got and you just got attached because it was the only thing you had.
So when these came free, you would want that $5 Happy Meal to get those.
This is what drove me to get Happy Meals.
Yeah, me too.
This is the only thing as a kid, like even like I'm talking about like 11, 12, like well beyond Happy Meal years. Mom, can I just get like the chicken nugget Happy Meal? I'll take some apple slices. Probably not gonna eat them, but I just need the Happy Meal so I can get something like this. That's gonna hang me over.
For the 50-cent toy that they made. You know what I mean? But I do remember. So the Crash Bandicoot ones, there was like a lot like that. There was like 7.
Yeah.
Right, and they were all different ones, like all different games. And I like always asked to go to McDonald's. I always got them right. And it was when I was playing Little League baseball. And then I remember one game where I was in the outfield and I sat down and I had my little Crash Bandicoot game from McDonald's and I was just playing that.
All day.
And the coach was pissed.
All day. I already know.
I'd sit there in the dandelions in the outfield just playing my 50-cent McDonald's game.
The game would be so dumb too, but like it was just
but
like
it's Crash.
And it was in your pocket.
Bro, marketing works so well. Because those games are usually shit for the most part.
Every time.
But it was Crash Bandicoot. And I was the Crash kid, you know what I mean?
This is why the Super Monkey Ball stuck out to me because I used to play that shit so much on the GameCube. Like when this shit was in the fucking Happy Meal. Oh, yes. Thank God. But the Game Gear Micro, definitely not 50 cents. Take a guess. Guess how much it is. $80?
Yeah.
That's a lot. Not $80. $50. $50 for your new Game Gear Micro that comes with 4 Japanese games.
So
$200 with 4 different colors. $4 or $200 for a collection. Yep.
I'm over, especially Sega trying to replicate, like PlayStation even tried to do it with the PlayStation Classic. I'm so over these companies trying to replicate what Nintendo does because Nintendo just has this fucking. Well, first of all, PlayStation could have done it. It's just they didn't have the right games.
Yeah.
But they're trying to replicate Nintendo where it's like as a money grab, and I'm sure there are people are gonna buy it.
Yeah, of course.
But you're just not Nintendo. Like Sega, you've never been Nintendo. You will never be Nintendo. Why do you try to like copy them in terms of like doing?
I almost feel like this is a test though because they're only releasing something like this in Japan. Like you're not going to be able to find these in the States at all, or you know what I'm saying.
And it makes sense why it's handheld because handheld is so popular in Japan.
Exactly.
Now here's the thing: Nintendo comes out with the Game Boy Micro with a bunch of preloaded Game Boy games, it's over. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like nobody gives. Like, I don't give a fuck about Sega, and I'm sure Japan doesn't give a fuck about Sega. Otherwise, it'd be around.
I don't even know how Sega's still around. Like, they're really holding on to the few licenses they do have, and really just like
makes sense. I mean,
any
Sonic
coin and
Mania
penny
made a lot of money.
Sonic is amazing and will definitely probably like immortalized just as a character in the game industry,
which is so weird to me because Sonic sucks.
Shut up.
Sonic
the fuck up.
Sucks. When was the last Sonic game that you played?
I literally played the last Sonic. I just downloaded Sonic Forces. Last game I played played hard Sonic Generations.
Cool.
On the 360.
My god. Funny story about that. Last of Us is actually on their PlayStation Conversation on YouTube, my old channel.
Yeah.
In high school when we went to go to The Last of Us midnight. There was one kid there for Sonic Generations.
Trooper.
One kid there out of the whole because it came out on the same day as The Last of Us.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know their sales.
I just remember
ass.
thinking, I'm like, why the fuck would you do this for Sonic? They're like, what the fuck?
I know their sales were ass for Sonic, but the game honestly wasn't an amazing game, but it was really enjoyable if you enjoy Sonic. I missed that game.
Sure, I mean,
fucking
Sonic. Murdering people is good if you like to murder people. You know what I mean? But like,
what?
Like it's not an excuse. Sonic's trash.
I think
like,
Sonic's better than Crash Bandicoot.
That's
I didn't want to say it.
Dumb argument.
Chat says that too.
What do you mean? Chat probably is saying that,
Chat
honestly,
saying no,
because that's the real truth.
Thank you. Clutch agrees with me. Sonic sucks. Yes, it does, Clutch. And you're on the right side of history. I mean, that's all I got to say.
First of all, I'm not even on the Mixer page, but I for sure know. Yeah, I know Clutch did not say that.
He said the opposite. Sorry. He said Sonic sucks, ? Yeah.
Clutch is like the biggest fucking Sonic frontrunner I know.
Well, okay, I take it back. Clutch, you suck. You know what I mean? You got bad taste in games. And, I mean, realistically, what do? You fucking run. And you just fucking run the line. And it makes no fucking sense. It's not fun to play. First of all,
what do you do in Crash Bandicoot?
Level design.
You fucking jump and you kick boxes.
Level design is 10 times better than Sonic, though.
Shut up. No. What are you saying?
Sonic's level design fucking sucks.
Bro, Sonic maps literally have layers on them. Like, what are you saying?
Bro, yours is like that one game that you get chased by like the monkeys and you just swipe left, right, up, down.
Right. Sonic Generations, I literally have to play like the same map 2 to 3 times, and I promise you I can play it differently every time.
Clutch says all you do is break boxes and Crash Bandicoot.
That's all you're doing, kicking boxes and jumping.
Not true.
And trying not to fall off the fucking, in between the bridges.
At least you got that fucking Sonic. Every fucking bump you have, it slows you down. And
My man Sonic
fun.
jumping,
just
he
not
running,
a fun gameplay hook. You know what I mean?
Killing little
Crash
bees
is at
and
least
bugs.
a fun gameplay hook.
Sonic is coming at you so fast, you got to make like play action
That's
moves.
all it has. You go fast.
Oh, so what?
That's
you go fast, you break boxes.
That's the only goddamn appeal of that game.
No, you go fast, but as you go fast, you have to pay attention because there's different routes you can take. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's layers to this shit, Mike. You don't know the layers to Sonic because
there is. And here's the thing: I'm such a staunch Sonic hater, but when Mania came out, people were talking so highly of it. I was like, okay, look, I'll try it. Right? But going back to the roots of the classic Sonic games. Look, I bought it, I downloaded it, I played it for 5 minutes, and I was like, fuck this. And I wanted to burn my PlayStation.
Hey, one-on-one, Sonic versus Crash Bandicoot. Sonic is beating Crash Bandicoot.
Okay, Clutch says something ridiculous. Sonic would beat Crash Bandicoot.
Honestly, that's all it comes down to at the end of the day.
Just not true.
Look,
yes, it is.
It's not true.
Look, we all know Ellie
Crash
shoots
fights.
Sonic.
Sonic fucking runs away from shit. You know what I mean?
Does
that sound like you see fucking Conor McGregor running away in the ring? No, he fucking fights, and that's why your argument's bullshit.
He loses. He lost in the ring.
He did lose to Floyd.
He lost.
Pop. He didn't get knocked out, but he lost.
Yeah, it was an MMA. If he was able to kick, you know what I mean? Well, sure. If you take,
because that's all Crash Bandicoot can do.
Crash's spin the right way, then yeah, he's probably gonna lose. You know what I mean? Take McGregor.
What does Crash Bandicoot have?
Got spin, jump, slide, Wampa gun.
Okay, Sonic got all that, and he moves at high speed. So it's like
you can't fuck him up. He's invincible.
Ooh, Crash Bandicoot is not invincible.
I'm tired of hearing
with Aku, he is.
the Sonic slander.
You know what I mean?
All right, you will not.
Now, if you said Mario, then yeah, maybe that's more of a matchup. You know what I mean? But fucking Sonic.
Sonic made it to Smash. So at least we see how Sonic fights. At least people can believe Sonic can fight.
Sure, he made it to Smash.
I don't think anyone believes Crash can fight. I think he's just good for jumping and kicking boxes.
I mean, I get nothing
Next
else
piece
to
of
say.
news.
So everybody knows where I stand.
And
First of all, Clutch, fuck you. He says in the chat over on mixer.com/play everything, where you can watch us live when we record the podcast Mondays, Tuesdays, both at 7:30, both our shows. Clutch says he's just a stupid fox. That's just ignorant. You know what I mean?
That's just ignorant.
It's an ignorant thing to say. He's a bandicoot. You know, and I just say read up. You know what I mean? Read up on your
bandicoot.
Read up on your
fox.
marsupials. You know what I mean?
You're stupid. All right, next piece of news comes with Warzone Season 4 being delayed. I don't know if you knew about that. Did you know that? I don't know if you just jumped off the fucking Warzone wagon into Minecraft.
I saw it.
Does that make you feel any type of way?
No, the reason for the delay I think is right.
Yeah, so they're delayed because they're trying to fix the community as far as how racist Call of Duty, the community can be. I'm not gonna say is, but can be.
No, is 100%.
It is.
Which is like that's not their fault necessarily, but the fact that they're delaying it to then put in measures to like combat it,
yeah,
like it shows that they care. Whereas at the end of the day, it's like that's how it's been since the 360, right? Like Call of Duty was the game where like you got called horrible things, you got motherfuckers on like terrible names.
Bro, Call of Duty made you strong.
And it's crazy because I feel like I can say that because
that was your stance
through the racism through Call of Duty. Not that I'm here trying to promote racism, but I feel like just as a person and then like the community,
you're saying racism's made you stronger.
Look, I'm saying,
just kidding.
Fuck this guy. I'm just saying through the racism in Call of Duty, I was able to find a community that tailored to me that I was able to grow close with because we all shared the hatred from this racism through the Call of Duty community. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. I found love in this race.
You found love in the hate.
I found love in the hate. Let me read this quote coming for you from Infinity Ward. It's saying, "There is no place for racism content in our games. This is an effort we began to launch and we need to do a better job. We're issuing thousands of daily bans of racist and hate-oriented names, but we know we have to do more and we are." So some of the measures they're trying to do, they're trying to adding additional resources to monitor and ID racist content. So like if you're typing shit in the chat box, like fuck you fucking, I'm not even gonna say any racist slurs because I got a show to run. But some racist shit in the chat or maybe even
not a time to be canceled, man.
Or they say they're also adding additional in-game reporting systems to increase the number of bans by hour. I wonder how big their community is. I know millions of people play Call of Duty, but like, did they just drop it off by like 3 million real quick, like daily? Like, is it just like?
I'm sure it is massive, and with some of these names and things I hear, I'm sure they're gonna be banning a lot of people.
It's just knocking them down, bam, bam, get off the game. And they're increasing permanent bans to root out repeat offenders. So if you do get like a 30-day ban, which I know Microsoft was notoriously good for.
Be racist once, can't be racist twice. You know what I mean?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying. We'll give you about 3 months. You can't cool down, you come back and do that shit, we'll give you another like 6. Because they said longer bans, but they didn't say how long. So it doesn't sound like they're trying to get them off the game, but just...
I mean, they're running a business, Yeah. I mean, they can signal all they want that they want these people off their game, but at the end of the day, who's buying them? Like, they're buying microtransactions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I get the optics of being like, oh, we stand... we're going to put this black screen saying racism is not okay.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they still making money off them. So obviously they're not going to drop the ban hammer one time.
But they're...
Look, he said the N-word one time accidentally. We're going to let him off the hook on this one.
Careful.
I didn't say it.
I know you didn't say it, but, hey.
That's Activision. That's what Activision said.
I know, but, hey, be careful. That's all I've got to say. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
No, but what though? What? Why are you making it seem like I did something bad?
It's gotta make you feel bad. No, you're good. I'm just fucking with you. Did you have any more to say about that?
No, I mean it's also gonna be interesting. Like for instance, the N-word. Like how are you gonna monitor that? Like how are you gonna know the player's race?
Yeah, they said they're increasing, like adding additional filters, greater restrictions, name changes. Sometimes you just join a game and you just see some racist name. Like, there's nothing you can do. You just see it respond to the kill feed.
And the tag and everything. I get that.
You know what I mean?
That's easier to do because it's like...
But I don't know, like, maybe if you go to report someone for being racist, maybe there's, like, sub-filters or subcategories. Like, was he racist because he said the N-word? Or did he, like, just say, like, he didn't like black people? Or did, like...
Yeah, but, like, that's what's interesting to me is, like, as far as, like, chat goes, like...
Yeah.
if a black guy says the N-word, like obviously that's different than you saying
like,
the
did he just
N-word.
think of you as less as a person? Like, you know what I'm saying? What is they like? How do we categorize that?
They have a board of people that they hired.
It's interesting. I wonder how it really will affect the community they have. You know, their pocketbook for sure. I mean, I don't know. I'm not knocking them for it, but I feel like they're definitely gonna play with this idea because, like you said, these are the people still buying their microtransactions. So for them to just issue thousands of bans with long ban holds, like I feel like people will definitely stop playing.
Yep.
Which I'm here for. Like, get your racist ass off the game. But I also understand you gotta make a paycheck. So
what game did it where they put them all on a server together? So they still making money off them, but they can't like.
I think it was Apex, but I don't think it was Apex. It
No,
might have been
I don't think it was Apex.
PUBG.
It was also that TV show I watched, the gaming one. Fuck, what was it called? Mythic Quest on Apple TV. They had like the same plot line where like they made this game and then they realized there's a bunch of racism in it. They're all like making swastikas with the shovel in the game.
Yeah,
and it's like they just put them all on a server together.
I feel like it was Apex.
Which I also think is extremely dangerous.
Just putting all in one server?
Yeah.
How so?
Because then it becomes like they're all talking to each other and like races are meeting other races.
And it just festers and grows?
That's how you get a clan, you know what I mean?
You know, there's some truth to that.
Yeah, that's always been my thought on it.
There
like,
is some truth
yeah,
to
that's
that.
a clever way, but at the same time, it's like they have like it's like 4chan then.
Yeah, it's not fixing the problem. It's kind of just removing, just putting it to the
4chan,
side.
but with a game that they play while they talk.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got to get them off the game. You can't just sweep them underneath the rug.
Yeah, swim on the rug.
Yeah.
More cockroaches come. You know what I mean?
And it gets bigger. Them dust bunnies grow. That's a good point. I'm glad you said that on air. Next piece of news: Destiny 2 will be on the next gen consoles with their newest expansion, Beyond Light expansion, revealed. And I'm glad you have that expressed because before I even tell you any more about this game, how persistent can Bungie be with this game?
I get it, man. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? It's like if it's like this, right? I put a lot of money into this. I'm just not going to be like, walk away from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to throw everything I can at you.
They're just...
I'm going to bring up
We're gonna be here for
Consensual
you
10 different times in this episode telling you to go watch it every Tuesday at 10 a.m.
Throughout the whole, like, for the last year and a half, maybe even 2 years, Destiny 2's been out. I feel like they have yet to vanish off of a headline. Destiny 2 here. Destiny 2 free. Destiny 2 coming to Stadia. Destiny 2 will work on this. Destiny 2 60 frames.
It's like
Destiny
Skyrim.
2. But they didn't throw Skyrim at us like they threw Destiny at us.
What are you talking about? Skyrim is fucking everywhere. And it fucking fucks like Alexander Dayu keep buying it. You know what I mean?
But Skyrim...
You're part of the problem. And I've had this conversation before, but it's true. It's like, why would they keep putting it on things? It's because you fucks keep buying it. How many times are you going to play this game? How many platforms do you want to play Destiny
What was the first platform for Skyrim? Let's be real. What, 360?
360, then it went PS3.
And then PC.
And then it was PC.
So we had, out of the gate, you had those three consoles.
Then it went Vita.
It was on Vita?
Yeah. And then
Nani?
it went Switch. Then it went mobile. Then it went Xbox One,
Then it went
PS4.
Then we got the VR.
Then you got the VR. Yeah, like they just kept going with it.
You got a point.
I'm sure it's on Stadia. I'm almost positive it's on Stadia.
Skyrim?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Wasn't it on Wii?
I know Destiny is. Skyrim on Wii?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. Because I think VR was the first time they ever tried to use like some type of like control for like your actual character. He's looking up right now. I don't think it was on Wii. Fact check me. Wasn't on the Wii, but
Wii U.
It was on the Wii U?
Yeah.
Fuck, Skyrim has been everywhere. So Destiny
It's
2.
like that one girl in high school, you know what I mean?
I didn't say that. I don't know.
I said it.
He did say it. I don't mind that.
It's a joke.
But yeah, I mean, they say it's gonna come to the next generation. So it's gonna be on your PS5. It's gonna be on your X series. They say it's gonna be free for those that already have the game. No, there's gonna be DLC that's free for those that already have it. So they're trying to tell you to get the game on the new console, and then if you get the console, you're gonna get their newest piece of DLC for free. Is that a good trade-off? Would you get the game for that? It's not like Skyrim gave us anything for free.
No. You cannot pay. I mean, you can pay me, but you cannot get me to play Skyrim. I mean, Destiny 2 again. I had my day where I played it like I did on Minecraft, where I played it for 24 hours, and then I was like, I'm good. I'm good off this. I don't need this. This kind of sucks.
Destiny?
You know? Yes.
Look.
Mechanically
I'm gonna
sound.
get Destiny for the PS5. I will. I'm gonna say that right now. Whether I play the game or not, I'm gonna buy it. Why? Because I have such a good time on Destiny, on the 360 that I just believe they need to just figure out how they can make it work on the second game. I just think they had such a hard time making a sequel to the good game Destiny was that.
I don't think Destiny 2 was bad by any stretch of the imagination in terms of it's more Destiny. So it was successfully more Destiny. So if it's something that you like, obviously you're gonna love this. Now I will say, you could play it now. You know, they gave it away for free for a couple months. You could be playing it right now,
and they gave it away for free because they didn't.
Why would you play it on the next gen?
Because it's gonna be 4K 30 frames per second on my new console. But outside of that, I've played Destiny religiously. Like how you play Minecraft right now, when you're spending 6 hours doing one thing, you spend 6 hours doing another thing. I've spent hours with Clutch, honestly. I'm glad he's in the chat because he was my rider. We would spend hours doing raids, Nightfall, the daily, the weekly events, and then hop into the Crucible and do Trials of Osiris. It was literally so much to do. It reminded me a lot of Halo. Shout out to Bungie and 343 for making a game like that. But Destiny 2 came around. It's you had such a good going for Destiny, and then you get the sequel, and it's just you expect more. That's why I ask you all the time, if you have anything expectation-wise differently going into Last of Us 2, because once you have a game, you've played it so good and you've played through it a lot, and you understand frame shit with guns and shit. That's how nerdy we were with the game. You expect a little bit better, but it's Destiny 2 was the same game with more weapons. You know, and it's just
in a map.
And maybe some different raids. And it's not that that's a bad thing, because of course you want new weapons, you want new maps, and you want different raids, but gameplay wise, I just feel like it didn't even match Destiny. And I don't know if it's because my expectations were so high.
I think it did. I feel again, I didn't play Destiny once, so I don't know.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from.
But in terms of gameplay, I think the game is mechanically sound. I just think going from this point and fighting these guys, and then going to this other point and fighting those guys, and then going back to the same point and fighting those guys, just isn't fun. The story's not good.
I can't say that because, like I said, with Destiny 1, I would do that. That was it was a daily thing. Every day there was a daily quest. Every day there was a new weapon. Every weekend you had Zerg bringing new legendary exotic weapons or whatever it was called. It was a daily thing where you were just knocking them down. And of course it's repetitive because it's the same mission, but the benefit and the grind was way different, and I didn't get that same feel from Destiny 2. And I haven't played Destiny 2, maybe different.
Well, it could just be more Destiny, and you might not want more Destiny, you know?
No, I wanted more Destiny because I bought the game, which became free.
That's how I felt with Killzone Shadowfall. I love Killzone, right? And I love the first 3 Killzones, but when I got to Shadowfall, it was just this is just more Killzone, and I don't know if I want more Killzone right now.
But then
the way it is, because they don't innovate, right? They just keep, and they go on to the next one, the next one, the next one.
Exactly.
And that's the way with Destiny. It's it's a second one. It's Destiny with a 2 at the end, right? And they added some new things, and they added a map. But at the end of the day, it's sometimes you just don't want more of the thing that you already burned out on.
I feel that's the only thing with multiplayer games, though, because single player games, you don't have that same type of deal where you're I'm not tired of this game.
That's not true.
You ever tired of a storyline in the game?
Yes. God of War?
You were tired of the storyline?
Before God of War actually changed, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people were. I think that's why you saw it go away. I mean, God of War 1 and God of War 2 was really great, and then God of War 3 came out and really blew people's mind. And then it was Ascension came out.
Oh,
and
Ascension was a game.
Ugh. And then the PSP ones came out, and you're like, yeah, I don't want any more of this. I'm kind of done with it. He's just angry. There's 5 games, and he's angry throughout the whole thing, yelling at shit and banging people, and it was just one of those things where okay, this is kind of played out. And then they actually innovated, right?
Yeah.
And then that's when you got God of War on PS4, and it was oh my gosh, this is actually an incredible game. They saved that franchise, because that franchise, to me, for all intents and purposes, was dead. I wasn't going to play another God of War game.
I've never played God of War, so for me, that game, that franchise in particular, like that's always been something I wanted to play. And I used to be like the kid on watching like G4 and recording all the on-demand G4 God of War.
Jeff Keighley.
Yep, just watching all that shit.
What's her name? Olivia Munn.
Oh, baby girl,
she's great.
Baddie.
I love Olivia Munn.
Hopefully, whenever you get on the show,
shout out Olivia Munn. Come on, invite only. Everybody tag her.
Come on,
everybody go on Twitter and go at Olivia Munn. Come on, invite only. Let's talk games. You know what I mean? Why completely consensual?
I don't know. Is she a
Watch
game
some
person?
crackheads?
Is she a game person?
She was on G4, yeah.
I know, but like, completely consensual.
I just say
whatever. We're gonna get on only, but we're gonna get both.
E Productions.
All right, so that was the last piece of news. I don't know if you have anything else to add on that before I,
No, I mean, I'm excited for the PS4 launch event. We might do something live. Who knows? We might do a watch along. We might not. Sean will keep you updated on that. Sorry, PS5.
I'm gonna see what y'all got for y'all. So before we sign off, though, I did want to say, my little piece on what's going on with the world as far as the Black Lives Matter movement. I feel like I need to say this, even though I know my platform isn't as big, but that shouldn't mean anything. Because the reality is, I do have a voice, and I do have people like yourself listening to me. I need to come to understanding. I need y'all to ride with me because I need to be, transparent as far as what it's like to be like this. So going forward, I don't want to really talk about police brutality too much as an issue, even though I know that's what spearheaded really this wave of Black Lives Matter, because it's not the first time. I want to talk about that because it's just been a black issue for so long. Like, it's like beating a dead horse. Like, I'm not going to tell you what, before the people before me, the people before them had to experience and go through, because it's so ingrained into my community that it's nothing really talk about outside of it's wrong. And thankfully now it's so blatantly clear that it's wrong that there's actually a change. But it comes down to just the mentality you have. When you pulled over by a police, the mentality you have to have just as a black or brown person, I would believe is different from anyone else in the world. Because it comes down to if I can't say or act the way this person, woman, man who's coming up to my door would appreciate, if I can't act the way that they need me to act, either I'm getting a ticket or I'm getting a bullet. And that's just what it comes down to. And so the fear, and I know there's tons of stories you can find online of just black people getting pulled over and the stories, because it is stories. But that's not what I wanted to touch on. I wanted to touch on systemic racism, because I think that's going to be what really changes things for my kids and their kids. I need my active white allies, not white allies, because all active allies to really make a stand and recognize your privilege and say something. Because it's one thing if you're a part of a system and you see that maybe your leadership is coming down on the black and brown people that you do work with, and you can see the numbers for a bunch of companies and seeing that black and brown number is lower than any other number. If you see that injustice being done, you have to be the one to speak, because the reality is they're treating them like that because they don't really care about their voice or how they feel. They're just a number. They're just a tool. So you, as that person that recognizes, that hasn't experienced, that's not experiencing the same, even bias or even, relationship with your employers, you have to speak up on it. And I know that'd be hard, but you have to really hold your leadership accountable, because that's really what it comes down to, because nothing's going to change if no one's held accountable. And aside of that, you really have to stand firm on what you believe, because it's very easy to stand on the side of you feel this is racist. You feel like this black or brown person is being treated racist, and you speak up, and then they tell you to pipe down or you're going to get fired, or they threaten to move you, or, something just involving just you losing out or them taking something away from you. You have to push through that, because that's how it is for every black and brown person on little things. And so I need all the allies to really stand on that, because we don't even have much legs to stand on outside of that. That's all we can stand on. So I need you guys to stand on that with us. You have to be a whistleblower for change, otherwise things won't change. We need change. As far as Black Lives Matter, black and brown people, we need change. We're demanding change. And I hope what's going on right now is the biggest wake-up call for the world. And I mean, that's all I got to say. If you didn't see this episode live, you can watch this episode tomorrow, 10 a.m., youtube.com/playeverything. Mike, you got any plugs? What we plugging?
No, yeah. So go subscribe to the channel. Go to our clips page. We got Play Everything clips. If you want to see a particular conversation from any of our shows on Completely Consensual, if you don't actively watch it and you want to see what that show's about, it's a great way to go and see what that show's about. Go get the clips there. Again, Completely Consensual. Post on youtube.com/playeverything on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. And I got Tech Fever recording that tomorrow, so get your questions in.
Yes, indeed.
That will be live on Thursday, 10 a.m. I'm getting it still. We
got you.
And go follow that kid Flowers.
I
think he really deserves it. He's been putting in the work. Go give him a follow. Yeah, I mean, that's what I really got to say.
I appreciate you, boo.
No problem.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.